In order to create more, we need to recognize that more's there. We need to decide more's there, and we need to choose that that's what we're creating. Now, the thing is, as I say, we need to choose that that's what we're creating. What we often believe is that the moment we choose it, we just choose it once and then it unfolds. Or we believe that if we've chosen something and then it doesn't unfold, well, it means it's not available to us. The thing is, the people who succeed have chosen that they're going to succeed, and then they've chosen again when they haven't succeeded, and they've chosen again even without any evidence that they're going to succeed. If we choose that we can have everything that we want, and we're only willing to choose that we're going to have that when we get evidence of it, the problem is often it takes a little bit of our choosing before evidence starts to arrive. Yeah, it takes a little bit of you going first. It takes a little bit of this is what's going to happen, right? And so it's like, have any of you before ever made a decision that people kind of didn't really understand or didn't really agree with, or kind of thought was a bit stupid? So maybe you decided at one point in your life that you were going to be vegetarian, or maybe you decided at one point in your life that you were going to go and study nursing, or maybe you decided at one point in your life that you were going to start a business. And you decided that, and the people around you were like, really? Like, come on. Like, because they were projecting their own possibilities, they were projecting their own thoughts, their own feelings, and their own judgments about the decision that you were making. Now, you made that decision though, and people were like, yeah. But you made that decision because that is what you were shown, and that is what felt aligned for you in that moment. And you made that decision, and you were so set on making that decision that even though the world was like, yeah, whatever, you made that decision, and to this day, you have kept making that decision. Have you had that moment in your life where you've made a decision, you put a line in the sand, and you stuck to it, even when everyone was like, whoa, right? This is what it takes for you to create miracles in your life. You making a decision, you deciding it, you sticking to your decision, even when firstly, people don't understand it, but secondly, when there's no evidence of it. Yeah? When there's no evidence of it. When you decide you're going to become a millionaire and like you look at your account and you've got $7.62, right? You say, this is what I'm going to do. What creates massive success is people being willing to make a decision and stick to a decision when they have no reason, they have no evidence, they have no support before they make the decision. And this is the thing, you might be thinking, oh Emma, but like, it's just so much easier, it'd be so much easier if my husband got it, or my wife got it, or my friends got it, or my mom got it, or blah, blah, blah. But this is the thing, this is your decision. This is your decision. And I promise you, what you're capable of achieving in your life, what you're capable of creating in your life, absolutely no one around you can really see that vision. They can't. They don't believe it's possible because they're living in their own limitations. And so your work is being willing to choose your path, choose what you're creating, and then re-choose it. Then re-choose it. Because I promise you, there are going to be voices that question you, people you know, and there are going to be your own voices that question you. I think we have this idea that like when we choose something or when we decide we're going to create something, that like we're going to choose it and we're going to create it, and then every part of our mind is going to go, it's happening, and we're never going to doubt ourselves, and that's just absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. You are going to choose it inside, and then you've got to have days where your body's like, oh, like, I don't know, can we really? And you're going to go, I'm going to choose this again. I'm going to choose to be this person, even without the evidence. I'm going to choose to be this person, despite fear, despite my own worry, anxiety, fear of not enoughness. I'm going to choose to be this person. So you're still going to have that voice that comes up that says you're not enough, that says that you're not ready, that says that you can't, that says it's not available. That's normal. Your ego is there for a reason, and you're going to choose anyway. Made me laugh, awesome. I've been stuck to it and had sense in my account many times last minute. Belief is everything. Exactly. But the thing is, how do I say this? I'm actually going to argue with that cat. It's not about belief is everything. It's choosing is everything. Because the problem with saying belief is everything is that we then believe that if we don't believe, we can't receive, right? Rather than realizing, like, when you decide you're going to go in a path, there are going to be many, many, many times after you've decided to go on that path where you don't believe it, where you're like, lol, oh my gosh, what am I thinking? Where you don't have that belief. And I think if we say, in order to create everything we want, we need to believe, yes, but in order to create everything you want, you've just got to keep deciding. You've just got to keep deciding to be that person. Because the thing is, I promise you, there are going to be times you don't believe. There are going to be times where you're so in doubt that you're like, that's just so not possible. But if you're like, if I was to choose, and this is what we're playing with today, if I was to choose, if I was going to choose to be that person, even when I don't believe, who would I be being? Because often, because team, if this is the choosing, right? And this is the believing, and we go off and we go, we believe, and then we don't believe, and we believe, and then we believe. If we are constantly driven by our beliefs, team, if you're constantly driven by your beliefs, some days your beliefs do not support you choosing. I'll give you an example. Say you choose to be a healthy person. I am 100% committed. I'm eating healthy foods, blah, 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 right? And here is you choosing. You take certain actions because you've chosen. You eat certain foods because you've chosen. You exercise in a way because you've chosen. Now, if you're in those days where you feel like a lot of doubt, and all you're doing is being swayed by whether or not you believe it, right? So you're like, oh my gosh, I don't believe I'm ever going to be healthy. I don't believe I'm ever going to get the body I want, right? In those days of lack of belief, you're going to go, oh, well, I'm just going to go eat cake today because I just don't believe it, right? But if you go, I don't give a fuck what I actually believe. I don't give a flying F what I believe. I am more concerned with what I'm choosing than what I believe, right? The choosingness of your desire is the thing that's going to make sure you get it, not the belief. Because any identity that you're sticking into, any belief, any identity that you're stepping into, you're going to have moments where you completely don't believe it. But if you're making the reason you don't have it because you don't believe it, oh my gosh, every time you're worried, every time you doubt, every time something's not unfolding, there's just one reason to completely move away and just not even go after everything you want. Is this making sense, Dan? Can be addicted to the cycle? 100%. Well, you can be obsessed with the idea that your beliefs shape what you're capable of rather than your choices. Maybe that's what's holding me back from going to the next level. Oh my gosh, yes, exactly. Love the difference. Yes, awesome. I'm glad this is better. Okay, so I don't want you to say, I need to totally believe in this. I want you to say, you know what? A lot of things I've created in my life, I had no belief in when I began, but I chose it and I chose it and I chose it and then I got it. Thank you. And so I'm going to choose it. I'm going to take responsibility over what I choose rather than what I believe. Yup, I can play with my beliefs and we're going to do what belief work and shifting our beliefs back into this, but I'm going to be more concerned with what I'm choosing.